सर, रोटी का महत्व पता है क्या आपको?
रोटी जिंदगी के अंदर अगर सबसे बड़ी कीमती कोई चीज़ है तो वो रोटी, उससे बड़ी तो कोई चीज़ ही नहीं था। आपको रोटी का महत्व क्या है? रोटी है तो दुनिया है, दुनिया है तो रोटी है।
किसी महान व्यक्ति ने एक बात बोली जो आज भी मेरा घर कर गई दिमाग में। बोले 4 चीजें अगर हैं तो इंसान कभी मर नहीं सकता।
हाँ,
काफी उसके लिए जीवन जीने के लिए। अगर कुछ भी नहीं है, एक रोटी,
हाँ,
एक तन छुपाने के लिए कपड़ा,
हाँ,
सर ढकने के लिए छत, अपनी मकान,
हाँ,
और पानी। ये 4 चीजें हैं तो इंसान गुजारा कर लेगा, जीवन गुजार लेगा।
ठीक है सर, तो इसी क्रम में आज हम जो वीडियो देखने जा रहे हैं,
हाँ,
उसका टाइटल है इवोल्यूशन ऑफ द ब्रेड।
अच्छा,
यानी कि जो रोटी है,
हाँ,
उसका कैसे इवोल्यूशन हुआ।
अच्छा,
मतलब विकास हुआ।
हाँ,
हाँ,
तो आप इस वीडियो को देखें, समझें और इस पर अपनी प्रतिक्रिया दें।
Bread. Obviously, we all know bread. We've been baking, using,
Hey,
and
Vladimir.
eating it for a long time. But have you ever wondered about the actual origins of bread? What are its ingredients?
Oh, yeah,
How did it
Vladimir,
emerge
yeah.
and how did it evolve? Welcome back to the Culinary Timeline channel, where we set out together on a journey through culinary traditions,
अच्छा काम कर रहे हो
discovering
आप।
timeless recipes and unraveling the science and history behind the flavors. Nowadays, bread is one of the most commonly used foods around the globe.
जी, जी,
Everyone
सही
is consuming it in various forms, from simple white bread to brown bread, bread jam,
ये भी सही
bread
बात है
omelets,
भैया।
bread rolls, and many others.
सही बात।
But the question arises,
जी।
where did it actually come from?
Ah,
How did it
क्या
become one of the most commonly used
ये
foods
बता तो।
going?
और ये
What
बताओ
are
आया
the
कहाँ से?
differences between the various types of bread?
सही बात।
How does it compare to other food items?
जी, जी।
So today, we are going to embark on a fascinating journey through time to explore
बिल्कुल,
the
बिल्कुल।
evolution of one of the world's oldest and most beloved foods.
बिल्कुल सब
Bread.
बताओ।
We will uncover the rich history, cultural significance, and incredible transformations that have shaped this staple over the centuries. So, grab a seat, relax, and
मतलब
let's
जब यार
travel
वो भी
through
है।
time
बहुत सही
together
बतलाओ।
to reveal all the secrets.
सही
This is the evolution of bread, a
जी।
journey through time. Our journey begins in the cradle of civilization, where bread made its humble debut.
अच्छा।
Interestingly, archaeological evidence suggests that as far back as 10,000 BCE,
Yeah.
our ancestors
10,000
in the
BCE.
Fertile Crescent were experimenting with wild
बहुत
cereals,
समझ रहे
eventually
भैया
leading
यार।
to the discovery of the magic ingredient, flour, which is of course the main ingredient and root cause of the
अबे हाँ,
bread
अटक में तो
invention.
खोया यार।
Can you even imagine a world without sliced bread? Well, our
नहीं सोच सकते
ancestors
आप।
couldn't either. The first evidence of bread making dates back to ancient Egypt,
Oh,
where
oh,
skilled
yeah,
bakers
right.
used a simple mixture of flour and water, later incorporating leavening agents like wild yeast.
आटा
But
गूंदने
wait,
का होना चाहिए ना
talking
मेरे
about the
भैया।
basics specifically, bread is actually made up of 4 main ingredients, guys. First comes the flour, either whole wheat or refined. Secondly,
Pa-
water to
pani-
create the dough.
नमक कहाँ
Third
है?
comes the salt to keep the
नमक आ
ingredients
गया।
intact. And the fourth and last one is yeast to create expansion
Amir.
and soften it.
अमीर
Now let's
अमीर
get back to the origin where we were talking about some Egyptian bakers who, in the process of making
Misri.
traditional flatbread, put the dough aside for some hours. Quite accidentally, the wild yeast in the air got mixed up into it. When the baker put it into the traditional
सही है।
oven, surprisingly, it started expanding. Everyone was shocked and amazed, and when they ate it, they found it to be
It's
much
very
softer,
good, yeah,
and they
yeah.
much
Wow,
preferred it like
Ah.
that. And so the recipe was carried on using
सही।
the same process. From there, humans kept on steadily crafting the bread-making process with time, and gradually, different ways of integrating the yeast into the flour were discovered.
टाइम के साथ साथ ब्रेड की
The
तरक्की
bread
होती गई।
taste and
बिल्कुल,
making
ये-
process
जैसे
transformed,
समय
with
आया,
the basic
बदलता
method
गया।
maintained by the mixing of the ingredients that we've discussed. When it comes to the exact history or era, however, there are some speculations about the exact time frame or years related to the history of the bread. But it's widely said that about 2,000 years ago, nearly 300
oh,
BC,
क्या बात
in
है भैया।
ancient Rome, baking was an incredible
2000 साल
art to
पहले।
be respected as a profession. Bread was made via imported wheat from the African continent and regions like Egypt, Tunisia, and
असली गेम जो
Algeria.
है भैया।
Later on, it was said that Christopher
Africa.
Columbus was the one to spread the bread concept into the American region. Additionally,
अमेरिका ये
Portuguese
लेके गया,
traders
चाचा
were
जी।
responsible
हाँ,
for
ये
bringing
लेके
the
गए थे
yeast
भैया।
bread to the Asian and Indian lands. You'll be
Hey,
amazed
भारत।
and maybe even shocked to discover, but bread was even being
भारत।
given importance in the arts as well as in the religions and spirituality as well.
सही बात है भैया।
Now, let's fast forward to explore how bread became not just a food item, but a symbol deeply woven into the fabric of various
बताओ आप।
cultures.
बताओ बताओ।
As civilizations grew and expanded, so too did the diversity of bread. It was soon commercialized, and industry
The
revolution
chal
also
rahi hai.
took place, bringing yeast and baking soda into the markets for upgrading
बात
the
है
process
भैया।
of making bread. Traveling across the continents, we encounter a myriad of bread types that have fascinated cultures worldwide. Here is an interesting fact
सही
for
बात
you
है,
that in
हर जगह
Greece,
अलग-
bread was
अलग-अलग है।
considered a gift from the
देखो आप।
gods, and breaking bread together became a sacred ritual.
यही
Yes,
भगवान
you
का
heard
स्वभाव
that
भी है।
right. Meanwhile, in the Asian and Indian regions,
Oh.
the aromatic naan bread became a
ये देखो,
culinary
ये India।
icon, reflecting the diverse
Naan।
flavors of the
हिंदुस्तानी
subcontinent.
तंदूरी
While in
रोटी
France, the baguette represents a culinary icon of its own. From the pita bread of the Middle East to the tortillas of Mexico, each culture has its unique way of preparing and
बिल्कुल सही
enjoying
बात है
bread-based
भैया यार।
products. It's incredible to think how this simple food has become so deeply ingrained in our cultural identities. In fact, bread took on unique forms, adapting to local ingredients and traditions. As time
सही बात
marched
है,
on,
जैसे अगर
so
हम
did the
दे-
art
दे-
of making
दे-
bread. The
सही
Middle
बात है।
Ages saw the rise of guilds and specialized bakers turning breads into a symbol of craftsmanship and skill. In
क्या
medieval
बात है,
Europe,
वाह।
bakers were revered and each town had its own distinct bread. The Industrial Revolution brought mass production, changing the way we viewed and consumed bread. The once labor-intensive process became
Sahi.
more efficient, making bread accessible to people of all social classes. But this loafy
ये तो
saga
अच्छा भी है।
isn't a linear one. Each culture needed its own twist into the dough, and bread even emerged from tandoor ovens with its pillowy perfection soaking up fragrant curries. China birthed baozi, delicate
Sure.
steamed buns bursting with savory or sweet fillings. And let's not forget the sourdough magic of the Mediterranean,
जी, जी।
a living legacy passed down through generations as bubbly and complex as a family reunion. So let us now shift our focus to the present day, where a
Yeah,
revolution is
national
underway in
bagay.
the world of bread with the epic rise of artisan baking. From sourdough buells to intricate ciabattas, artisanal bakers are reclaiming the root of bread making and emphasizing quality over quantity. It's a
सही बात है
return
ये।
to the basics, but with a modern twist. And let's not forget the gluten-free movement, catering to diverse dietary needs, with sugar-free forms of course introduced as well.
जरूरी
Time
भी है।
marches forward, and so too does bread-making technology. Over the centuries, innovative techniques and tools have transformed the way we
Sahi.
make bread. The invention of the first milling machine in the 19th century
Oh,
revolutionized
oh.
flour production, leading
Yes,
to
so
finer
सदी में।
and more consistent flour. In the
भी
20th
चक्की
century,
भी-
the
चक्की
introduction
थी।
of commercial
हाँ,
yeast
चक्की
and
भी है।
mechanized dough mixers further streamlined the bread-making
Yeah.
process. These achievements allowed for mass production, making bread accessible to
और
people
quality में अच्छा
around
हुआ
the
रहा क्या
globe
बाबूस?
in various forms and
चक्की नहीं
providing an
हुआ।
enriched and
Ah.
unique taste. Famous food blogger Simon Majumdar, in one of
Gee.
his blogs, Breaking Bread with Simon Majumdar, quoted a well-known baker who said that breaking bread saves lives. You don't need a piece of Wagyu steak decorated with gold leaf, an expertly crafted plate of homemade pasta, or a slice of three-tiered chocolate cake to have an incredible meal. Rather,
बात है।
all you
Yeah.
need is a plate of food in front of you, and having a bread loaf or slice, and a table of hungry bellies around you. Another top chef blog site, thechefsconnection.com, shared a statement of an experienced baker and chef, Kamel
क्या बात है।
Sassi, in which he said, "I know exactly what I'm doing.
सही है।
I just feel the dough. I know when I have to bake it. When it's ready, they call me, Dad, shape me, bake me." You might be wondering after this evolutionary journey, what does the future hold for our beloved bread? Well, we can say that as we continue
बता
to
दो आप।
explore cutting-edge developments and innovations, it's clear that the evolution is far from over. From 3D printed loaves to sustainable and nutritious alternatives,
but
the
it's-
possibilities are endless. As our understanding of health and environmental impact grows, so does the potential for bread to continue evolving. No doubt in today's world, bread has taken on new forms and flavors. Artisan bakeries
यही
have
बात
gained
है भैया।
popularity focusing on traditional methods and locally sourced ingredients.
सही है
Moreover, as dietary preferences have evolved, we have surely seen an increase in gluten-free, whole grain and sourdough breads.
सही है
Bread has even reached the realm of culinary
सबको स्वस्थ खाना चाहिए।
experimentation, with bakers pushing the boundaries of creativity by infusing flavors like herbs, fruit, and even chocolate into their loaves.
ये भी
But
Because
सही
it
amidst
बात
was-
है
all the
yeah.
innovation, guys, we must never forget the essence of
नहीं,
bread.
नहीं,
The
इसका
simple
मतलब
act of
देखो आप-
gathering,
क्या
mixing,
बात है।
baking, and sharing. From a
पर ये तो
sun-warmed
फुलती
grain
है।
to a golden
Oh.
crusted loaf,
ताजा
bread is
तर्रार।
truly an amazing story of human connection and a testament to our shared hunger for both sustenance and community. So fire up
बिल्कुल।
your ovens, knead your worries away, and bake your own delicious chapter in the ever-evolving story of
बिल्कुल
bread.
करेंगे भैया यार।
And I'll leave you with this. Famous Indian leader, the great Mahatma Gandhi, once
Mahatma Gandhi
said,
ji.
"There are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread."
क्या
And
बात
so
कही,
we
वाह
come
भाई
to the
वाह।
close of this chapter of the Culinary
Vichar,
Timeline
uच्च
channel.
vichar.
The evolution of bread, a journey through time. For sure,
बहुत
we
अच्छा
have
बताया
witnessed its
दिया
humble
आज
beginnings,
सबक
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल।
celebrated its cultural significance, and explored how
सही
it
है,
is
बिल्कुल
adapted
सही।
to the ever-changing world. As we savor the diverse flavors and textures of bread, let's appreciate the craftsmanship, history, and passion that goes into every slice. If you've
सही।
enjoyed this journey, don't forget to
बिल्कुल,
hit that
बिल्कुल।
like button,
बहुत शानदार लगा।
subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more tasty adventures, and until next time, happy baking.
धन्यवाद। यार मैं सोचा नहीं था कि रोटी के इतने अनेक रूप निकल के आ जाएंगे।
यार,
मैं तो सोचता था कि बाबा आदम से चली आ रही चीज ही।
भाई देखो उसके बाद ये अब 2000 साल किसको
10,000 साल।
हैं?
10,000 साल।
10,000 साल को किसको कहते हैं यार। और फिर जैसे जैसे वक्त गुजरता गया वैसे वैसे रोटी का चेंज होता गया। इतने वर्षों से चीज चली आ रही और आज देखो
अब देखो कि वो अफ्रीका से गाँव आते थे,
हाँ।
वो कोलंबस जो था
हाँ।
उसमें दिखाया वो अमेरिका लेके गया था वो चीज।
वो ये लेके गए थे।
और फिर ये चीज भी सीखी उन्होंने कि
हाँ।
आटे के अंदर नमक भी मिलाना है
हाँ
और खमीर बनाना तो क्या मिलाना है,
लेकिन
पानी
वो-
मिलाना ताकि
हाँ।
वो बन जाए।
वो मिस्र का अंदर उन्होंने आटा
गूंदना।
सीख रहे बाकी में यार ये जो वीडियो है और रोटी का जहाँ सवाल है बाकी में रोटी इंसान की सबसे बड़ी जरूरत है। वो कैसे बनी क्यों बनाई और कहाँ से शुरू हुआ यार पूरा इतिहास उन्होंने अपने सामने लगा रख दिया। इससे बढ़िया जानकारी अपने को उनका मिलेगी भैया।
मतलब ये तो वही मिसाल हो गई
हाँ
कि अगर इसी की जगह अगर अपन डेयरी को देख लें
हाँ
तो दूध ऊपर वाले ने एक दिया,
हाँ
उसकी अलग अलग कितनी चीजें बना दी इंसान ने,
हाँ
कितनी चीजें अलग अलग बना दी।
दही बना दिया, पनीर बना दिया, चाय बना दिया, मक्खन बना दिया, क्रीम बना दिया।
इसी तरह से ये रोटी है
हाँ
कि ऊपर वाले ने दिया गेहूं, अब तुम उसको क्या क्या इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो, तुम दिमाग लगाओ।
तो
क्या दिमाग लगा, क्या क्या बना दिया।
और लोगों ने दिमाग लगाया और हर जगह वैरायटी बनती गई, चीज होती गई। और एक बात है हर देश का रोटी खाना हर चीज
अलग अलग।
साहब बिना रोटी के मैं जिंदगी की कल्पना तो नहीं कर सकता हूँ। और इसी बात पे आप मेरा ये गाना सुनो। अम्मा एक रोटी दे, बाबा एक रोटी दे, भूखे बच्चे मांग रहे कब से हाथ पसार के। अम्मा एक रोटी दे, बाबा एक रोटी दे, भूखे बच्चे मांग रहे कब से हाथ पसार के। अम्मा एक रोटी दे।